If you want your 808s to hit harder than ever, and you have Reason 13 and the Polytone dual layer synthesizer, this video is for you. First things first, I'm going to grab Polytone and drag it into my rack. Now I have an initialized patch here. If you don't have an initialized patch, right click and reset your device. First thing we're going to design with this 808 is the attack, the kick part of this 808. So we're going to pull our pitch oscillator all the way down here, and we're going to put our wave on sine. Now our 808 will sound like this. Now I just want this to be the attack part. So I'm going to pull the decay down quite a bit, and I'll keep the release where it's at. Going to pull the sustain all the way down. And now we have a kick sound here. Now, I don't want as much of the top end in it. I want it to sound a little darker. So I'm bringing the filter frequency cutoff down. Can pull up the level here so we can get more drive going into that filter. And now if we wanted to add a subtle kind of top quality to this, we could blend in another oscillator, which is oscillator 2 on layer A. I'd pull the pitch all the way down as we bring this mix level up to figure out what blend we like. You can try different waveforms: chaos, digital, sine, triangle, pulse, saw. Let's try digital. Very subtle, but I like it. Now I'm going to use this filter envelope to get a little bit more of a higher pitch at the very beginning of this kick sound. Pulling up the amount will fully open that envelope that we set here. All right, I like this tone. So now let's move on to the body, which will program into layer B. For layer B, I'm going to take the settings we had from A and copy them over by pressing this button. And I'm going to pull my attack up a little bit since I'll have A controlling the kick part of this 808. And I'm going to pull my decay up and my sustain up so that 808 can really ring out. And let's hear what layer B sounds like. Really nice tone we got here. We can also turn up our mix on oscillator 2 for the body. Keep in mind, you can experiment with different waveforms. That one sounds a bit muddy, so I probably wouldn't use that one at this pitch. I stick to multiples of 12 for the pitch so that we can have our 808 in key and in tune. Digital, sine, triangle. One more thing you'll want to do is in the voice area, we're going to put it on retrig mode so I can't accidentally play more than one bass note at the same time. Typically, we only play one bass note at the same time, or else we'll introduce mud into our composition and into our mix, of course. Another thing we could do is add some chorus to make it wider. So we have a slow option, a fast option, and a flange option. Let's go ahead and turn up the amount and cycle through these three. I like the fast option. Now what we're going to do is mix in our initial layer, which was A. And in order to do that, we're going to change our mode to mix. And now I can use this fader here to blend in our kick and our body. I'm going to change the layer that I have on oscillator 2 for layer B. Now, if I want to take this a step further, I can add something like scream so that I can introduce different types of distortions. So in order to do that, we're going to drop open our insert section on our mix channel. We're going to add an effect, and we're going to click on scream for distortion. Now I can cycle through these different distortions, and based on which one I like, I can alter these parameters. Let's say I like tube. If I like tube, I'll be adjusting the contour and the bias. If I like tape, I'll be adjusting the speed and the compression. So let's try tube. Pull up the damage amount. I can also adjust the cut, so I can do some EQing here, whether subtle or drastic. I can boost the highs, cut the mids, cut or boost the lows, whichever direction you'd like to go based on taste. We also have a body module here. Let's cycle A through E and see what kind of tones we can get. So there's some really nice sounds you can get in there. So our bass sounds like this now. I'm going to turn off this body, put it on D, and I like how that sounds. And maybe I can mix in more of the kick in our layer, or just turn down the level on B. That's better. Now, if you're into making sound packs, or maybe you want to use this for later but don't want to save the Polytone preset, you can go to your sequencer and bounce this as a sample that you can use for later. So I'll just put that here, and I'll pull it at full velocity, so I'll drag that up to 127. I'm going to drag this out a bit longer so I can elongate this note as well. Then I'm going to bounce this in place. And now you can name it. Now you can also edit this and export it into a folder of your choosing. So the next way to do that would be to get it into the sample editing window in Reason. So we're going to right click, bounce clips to new samples. Then our 808 will pop up here. From there, we're going to right click again, edit sample. And now we can see our sample here. I'm going to normalize it. And I'm going to crop it so that we can cut out some of this silence here at the end. Crop. And I'll also add a fade so that we don't hear any clicking at the end of our sample. And you can rinse and repeat this process. We're going to save this. Now, if you want to export the sample and put it in a folder, if you right click and export, it might tell you that the file is not found. So if that happens, you're going to go up to File, Song Self-Contained Settings, and uncheck the 808s that you created. And then you can save them into a folder. For example, Polytone 808 collection. Create, choose, and now both of these samples that I created are in that folder. If you found this video helpful, hit the subscribe button for more sound design tips. Today is day 9 of our 30-day Reason Marathon. If you like this video, you might be interested in using the new sidechain tool to mix your kick and your bass. I'll put that video down in the description. It's all culture, kickback, and cook up.